Well, first of all, I really appreciate everybody coming back. Great crowd. Thank you all very much for supporting Tulane Green Wave. Just kind of some opening comments over our last game against Grambling State. I thought we came out and played really sharp in all three phases. Started the second half off great kick return. Went down and scored to make it 31-0. Got a little bit sloppy, I guess, the end of the third quarter. Beginning of the fourth quarter, we got some young guys in there with the opportunity to play and show us what they could do, and some of them took advantage of it, some of them didn't. But you go out and you practice, you script everything, you try to go through every situation and scenario that you can, but there is no substitute for a real live game. So many things that happen, and it's all full speed, and I think we're going to learn greatly from the experience. Navy coming up this weekend, great program. Coach Ken has done a phenomenal job. I got a lot of respect for him, his coaching staff. They do a super job recruiting. I think that's really underrated in their program. They got some really, really good athletes, and they got a lot of them. And, we know what we're going to get from them. Offense, defense, kicking game. They just do a great job with technique and fundamentals. And we're going to have to go up there and be really, really tough and play 4 quarters of football, if not longer, and have a tough-minded mindset in order to win this ball game. So, anybody have any questions for me?
Can this be, for lack of a better word, a statement meeting for your program? Some of your players said beating Navy would go a long way in proving, I guess, that this.
I think every win we get right now is a statement win for us. We've got to get this thing turned around, and sometimes some of the coaches, some of the players have a hard time keeping up with me, but I approach every game like it's a Super Bowl, and it is, because we're playing in the game, so that's how our margin for error is very slim, and we got to do everything right. If we do that, we got a chance to win every game we play, but you got to go out and deliver, on Saturday, and our job is to prepare them, and part of the job of a Division I football player is to go out and play lights out on game day, So, we want to get this one just like we want to get every other one.
Much of their option is like 1970s option football, and how efficiently and meticulously do they execute?
They do a great job. They've been running this offense. If you watched Georgia Tech last night, Coach Johnson was the head coach at Navy. Coach Ken was one of his assistants. He took over. It's a very similar type offenses. Both of them, we call it under center triple option. A lot of man blocking principles rather than zone blocking principles like we do. So there's a lot of differences between what we do and what they do, other than the fact that there is a dive player, there is a quarterback player, there is a pitch player who can run the football on every play. So it's a physical type offense. They're going to come straight at you. And they also sometimes they get big plays in the passing game. They're very efficient in the passing game. They'll throw for a lot of yards, but high completion rate. It's a good offense. There's really only a few schools that are running this at Division I level. Army, Navy, Air Force does a little bit of it, and Georgia Tech, and I think that's it. So they've got kind of their own club. And there's some at the Division I AA level. When I was at Georgia Southern, I came in and I took over a team that was a under center triple option. So they've got their own cult.
Does it make it a little bit easier for you since you are running something similar offensively to defend what they do?
Really what we're doing is a lot different than what they're doing. It starts with the offensive line and the mesh point, and there's a few similarities, but not a whole lot of similarities with it. So, it's a little bit like Coach Curtis over there. They're under center split back veer, and that's totally different than, there's teams that run it, but they run it from the gun, and the mesh point and the timing is totally different. So there's not a whole lot of similarities between the two offenses.
I know you brought Jonathan Banks here to win football games for you, but when you're playing one of the elite teams in the league, is this one of the big reasons why you have him here to give your team a chance to win the NCAA
Yeah, we're gonna have to score some points. You know, it's hard to beat these guys. You know, scoring 1 or 2 touchdowns. You gotta match them. You know, and you know they go for they were number 1 in the nation in third down conversion percentage last year. I think 56%. I think the next closest was in the high 40s. You know, so they're very good on fourth down conversions. They'll go for it a lot. You know, so we've got to match them. You know, during the ball game. You know, this is going to be a pretty quick game. You know, it's not gonna. It won't be a 3.5-hour game, even with TV. You know, I guess it was last year, was it, when they played Notre Dame? And each team had 6 series in a game. And most teams you're going to play is going to have 12, 13. We usually, with our style, is 11. Theirs is probably 8 or 9. So you got to do a good job of ball security. You got to do a great job of takeaways, and you got to do a good job of matching them and moving the chains.
What can Banks do better?
If you ask him, he's going to say passing. That's what he wants to. He's like all quarterbacks, you know, like throw 50 times a game. You know, the reason why we recruited him is he's a dual threat guy. He can throw it. We're starting to evolve our passing attack, which we need to. You know, there's going to be some games where we're going to need to have him throw 30, and there's going to be some games where, you know, they're having a hard time slowing us down, and we're only going to throw it 10. So each week you got to do it based on your opponent and what you're having success on and not having success on.
You've got a lot of veterans on defense. You've played a lot of games against this
Yeah.
style option. Almost maybe the team in the country. They played Georgia Tech twice. They played Navy now. This will be the 3rd time. How much can that help that they've been?
I think it helps. I really do. You know, to me, it's a mindset. You got to shift gears every week. Games are different. Teams you prepare for are different, but this one is way different. And you know, the attention to detail and you know, Tennessee's got a good football team. They gave up over 500 yards of rushing offense last night. You know, I'm sure they worked on it quite a bit. That was their opening game. You know, so it's a booger. You know, and we just got to be on point every single play.
When you look at quarterback, I think their coach said that he was surprised people don't talk about it more. They still talk about Keenan Reynolds being a better athlete, being a better quarterback. He was great, but I mean, 232 yards for 80 against Florida Atlantic is pretty impressive. Is he sneaky athletic, or is he just really?
You know, I think what happens is he's not real flashy. You know, and I don't know a whole lot about Reynolds, but I think he had some wiggle and some flash to him. This guy's a big guy. And if you don't get him between the clubs, he's not going down. You got to physically tackle him every single time. So I know we got a lot of respect for him. He puts his foot in the ground. He gets vertical, and you know, most of these guys have been running this style offense forever. I'm guessing that he probably ran a under center triple option type offense in high school. That's probably where they recruit most of their quarterbacks from.
Coach, based on what happened in that game the other night, A&M and UCLA, are you coaching the spike play again when something like that happens?
Yeah.
Are you coaching that, telling you guys, hey, be looking for this week, this is what can happen?
Yeah, there's a couple plays in the NFL, and we try to show guys all those different scenarios. There's an infinite amount of situations that can arise in a game, and it's hard to go over every one of them, but you try to talk through at least all of them, and we'll do that when we watch games. You know, I'm talking to our guys today about, you know, the Georgia Tech kid wishes he would have had great ball security. Game would have been over, right? But he got stripped. You know, they came up in his blind spot and stripped him. So, you know, I think most of our guys watch a lot of TV, maybe too much games, and see all those different things that happen. You know, main part though is run the play clock out every play. And you don't ever get to that situation, right? They would never had a fake spike and throw the ball. Game would have been over 3 minutes before.
Keyshawn McLeod practice today. Do you think he's going to be ready?
Yeah, he'll be ready.
Coach, for a relatively young team, were you pleased with the maturity they showed from the opening kickoff or the opening end?
Yeah, I thought we did a great job in the first quarter coming out of the blocks. I think they had 3 or 4 miscues early with pre-snap penalties, and we did a pretty good job of staying away from those. Got a little sloppy in the fourth quarter where we put some new guys in. I think we had 8 penalties and 6 of them were in the fourth quarter. You know, so we need to clean that up. Again, you know, we've you know, Navy is always the least penalized team in the country. You know, so we've got to do a good job of matching them in that area as well.